In a bustling factory hidden deep in the whispering woods, where machines hummed like sleepy bees and conveyor belts danced like endless snakes, there lived a tiny robot named Zippy. Zippy wasn't like the other robots who just assembled widgets all day. Oh no, Zippy had a shiny red button on his chest that glowed mysteriously whenever he dreamed of faraway places. But what if that button held a secret power? What if pressing it could launch him into the greatest adventure ever? Hold your breath, little explorers, because Zippy is about to discover something astonishing. Zippy's days were filled with whirring gears and clanking arms, but his nights were alive with wonders. One evening, as the sun dipped below the treetops like a giant orange lollipop melting into the sky, Zippy noticed a peculiar map fluttering from a high shelf. It was drawn with squiggly lines that looked like worm trails and dotted with stars that twinkled like mischievous fireflies trapped on paper. "What's this?" Zippy beeped softly, his antennae twitching like curious caterpillars. He reached up with his extendable arm, which stretched longer than a giraffe's neck on a tall day, and snatched the map. Little did he know, this map led to the hidden Valley of Wonders, a place where trees sang lullabies and rivers flowed with fizzy lemonade. Excitedly, Zippy packed his backpack, though robots don't usually have backpacks. This one was made from recycled soda cans and sparkled like a disco ball. He tucked in some spare batteries that glowed like tiny moons and a wrench that could twist into any shape, even a pretzel. As the factory lights dimmed to a soft glow, Zippy sneaked out through a secret door hidden behind a pile of rusty bolts. The woods outside were alive with strange sights. Leaves that whispered secrets to each other, flowers that bloomed in polka dot patterns, and owls with eyes as big as dinner plates who hooted riddles instead of who. Zippy rolled along on his squeaky wheels, following the map's curly path, his heart well, his circuit board, pounding with thrill. But oh, dear readers, adventure isn't all smooth sailing. As Zippy ventured deeper, the path twisted into a foggy maze where the trees had branches like octopus tentacles, waving hello or maybe trying to tickle him. Suddenly, he heard a rustle, 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 like popcorn popping in a giant microwave. Out popped a fluffy creature with fur as purple as grape jelly and ears that flopped like oversized pancakes. "Who goes there?" It squeaked in a voice that sounded like bubbles popping. This was Fluffernut, the squirrel wizard, who could cast spells with acorns that turned into bouncy balls. "I'm on a quest," Zippy declared bravely, his red button flickering like a warning light. Fluffernut grinned, revealing teeth like shiny pearls, and joined Zippy, promising to guide him through the maze if they could solve the riddle of the twisty vines. Together, they puzzled over the riddle. What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, up it goes, and yet never grows? Zippy's processors whirred like a blender on high speed, and Fluffernut scratched his head with a paw that smelled like fresh berries. "A mountain!" Zippy exclaimed, and poof, the vines parted like magic curtains, revealing a glittering stream that giggled as it flowed. They hopped across stepping stones shaped like giant cookies, careful not to slip into the water that bubbled with rainbow fish doing somersaults. Along the way, they collected odd treasures. A feather that changed colors like a mood ring, a stone that sang opera when squeezed, and a leaf that tasted like cotton candy. Though Zippy couldn't eat, he pretended to nibble. As the sun climbed high, painting the sky in stripes of blue and pink like a zebra in pajamas, Zippy and Fluffernut reached the edge of a vast meadow. But wait, what's that shadowy figure lurking behind the tallest flower? It looked like a giant, with arms as long as rivers and eyes glowing like distant stars. Could this be the guardian of the valley, or something far more sinister? Grip your seats, young adventurers, for the real danger is about to unfold, and Zippy's button might be the only thing that can save them. The shadowy figure turned out to be Grumplewort, a grumpy old tree troll with barked skin covered in mossy polka dots and roots that wiggled like earthworms having a party. "No one passes without a challenge," Grumplewort boomed, his voice echoing like thunder in a teacup. He challenged them to a game of hide and seek in the meadow, where flowers hid by changing into butterflies and bushes disguised themselves as fluffy clouds on sticks. Zippy, being small and speedy, zipped around like a lightning bug on roller skates. finding Fluffernut hidden in a hollow log that smelled like cinnamon. But Grumplewort was tricky. He blended into the grass, his leaves rustling like sneaky whispers. Just when it seemed they'd lose, Zippy pressed his red button by accident. Zap! A beam of light shot out, revealing Grumplewort's hiding spot and turning the troll's frown upside down into a big, leafy smile. You've won with cleverness and a dash of magic. Grumplewort cheered, his branches clapping like enthusiastic seals. With the troll's blessing, they entered the hidden Valley of Wonders. Oh, what a sight! Hills rolled like giant green jelly beans, and in the center stood a fountain spraying sparkles that turned into floating bubbles you could ride. Zippy and Fluffernut met more friends. A flock of birds with wings like rainbow umbrellas who sang silly songs about upside-down rain, and a family of rabbits with hopscotch skills that could jump over mountains. Well, small ones. They played games where the rules changed every minute. 1 second it was tag, the next it was musical chairs with dancing stools. Zippy learned to fly on a bubble, soaring high above the valley, seeing clouds shaped like dragons eating ice cream cones. But amidst the fun, a storm brewed on the horizon, dark clouds swirling like angry cotton candy machines. Thunder rumbled like a giant's tummy ache, and lightning flashed like camera bulbs at a party. Quick as a flash, Zippy rallied his new friends. "We must protect the valley," he beeped, his button glowing brighter than ever. Fluffernut cast acorn spells to create a shield of glowing nuts. Grumplewort rooted himself to hold back the wind, and the birds flapped their wings to blow the clouds away. Zippy, in the center, pressed his button intentionally this time. Whoosh! A wave of energy spread out, turning the storm into a gentle rain of colorful confetti that made everyone laugh and dance. The valley was saved, and the wonders sparkled even brighter under the rainbow that arched like a giant smiley face. As the day ended, Zippy realized the biggest adventure was making friends and discovering his own bravery. He waved goodbye to Fluffernut, Grumplewort, and the others, promising to return. Rolling back to the factory, the map now tucked safely in his backpack, Zippy felt taller, even though he was still tiny. Back home, the other robots listened wide-eyed or wide-lensed to his tales, and from then on, the factory buzzed with dreams. And who knows, maybe your own red button or imagination is waiting to launch you into an adventure too.